Conrad and I began talking about doing a show together last summer. And probably by the end of January, decided we were definitely going to do it. But then it was just a matter of time. So by the time we figured out, where we wanted to be and negotiated the right deal, that was really about April. And we decided to launch the show shortly thereafter. And the chemistry off air has always been good. Conrad's a very smart man. He's a businessman. He's very aggressive. He's got a vision for what he wants to accomplish in this space. And I like working with people like that. When it comes to doing the podcast, I knew going in that Conrad's style and my personality would probably create some interesting content. He comes at the podcast strictly from the point of view of a very knowledgeable wrestling fan. And by knowledgeable, I mean one who has consumed digital publications that are out there, like Meltzer's and others, and has that perspective of the industry. Not that that perspective is accurate necessarily, not that that perspective is one that I agree with. Most of the time I don't. And I have a very different take on what was really going on behind the scenes than the perception or the narrative that's been consumed by wrestling fans for the past 2 decades. No one like me ever came out and said, no, that's not really what happened. Here's really what happened. I have no problem accepting responsibility for my mistakes. I've made many of them. Whatever success I've had in my life, I owe to the mistakes I've made along the way. I think much of what we see today grew out of that Monday Night War era. And quite frankly, were a result of the things that we originated on Nitro. From going live on Monday nights instead of tape, to creating, reality-based storylines and reality-based characters, using the behind the scenes scenes, if you will, the backstage scenes and interviews and some of the action that took place, from Rey Mysterio getting lawn darted into the side of a production truck, and all those moments that we created in the backstage area of the arenas had never been done before. All of that originated on Nitro. I enjoy Twitch. I use Periscope. I do enjoy engaging with the audience, and I always have. People may forget, I was one of the first wrestling executives to embrace Prodigy chats. So I've always been interested in that ability to communicate. The wrestling fans, that I talk to, that communicate with me and interact with me on Twitch or wherever, they're really engaging. A lot of them have questions. A lot of them challenge me, much like Conrad does. And that's okay. I encourage that because I like to engage with the fans. And the fact that I have the freedom and the flexibility now to go up live around the world whenever the mood strikes me it's just a phenomenal time in our history right now.